So would Trump use nuclear munitions in the fight in Iran? And I think the answer to that is quite possibly yes. There are two scenarios where he might be tempted to use them. The rationale behind it would be very similar to what happened with Japan. So Japan, firstly, they did Pearl Harbor. The Americans have a very long memory. And then secondly, they were suicidal fighters. They were packing their aeroplanes full of explosives and flying into the American ships. And so it really didn't look like these guys were going to properly surrender. And so the bomb was used in order to break their will and force them to surrender. Now, when it comes to Russia and China, there's mutually assured destruction because the rockets, America's rockets, are all in North Dakota, Wyoming. They have a 15 to 20 minute flight time anywhere on the planet. They run at Mach 23. And if they're fired and then Russia fires their rockets, everyone gets destroyed because you can't stop a Mach 23 rocket. And basically they pass in the just in space out of the atmosphere, and there's mutually assured destruction. Okay, and this is why we actually can't fight Russia or China. We just have to live with them. It's one of the reasons why it's just so insane to be fighting Russia now, because Russia and America just have to negotiate it out. Same thing with China. Now, there's no mutually assured destruction with Iran, of course, because it doesn't have the bomb. And as we know, Russia and China have stayed well out of this. So Trump could use a limited strike. Now, what this would possibly look like would be perhaps hitting Lake Ermia to basically bring them to submission in a very similar way to Japan at the end of the Second World War. Obviously, this would be the absolute last chance. So this would happen if Trump had brought on, really heavy bombing for, say, 10 or 11 months, real sort of carpet bombing, and there was just no sign of a win in terms of breaking the resolve of the nation. So I could see that happening. And of course, we know that there are orders to really hit Iran very, very hard should Trump get assassinated. So I could also see the nuclear option used if a rogue nation actually assassinated the president. Now, in terms of speed of response, those Minuteman IIIs are the fastest response. So if, for example, a warhead appeared from nowhere and America saw it, those are the weapons that would be used. But I think that if it was a more strategic, let's say hitting one of the islands, or really just letting Iran know that Trump was serious, then I don't think they'd be firing the Minuteman IIIs from North Dakota for that, because it would be terrifying, and of course the whole world would be on alert as that thing leaves its silo. Now these things really do work. Every year they take one of these rockets, they take it down to Cape Canaveral so that they don't risk anything else. They fire the thing off and hit an island in the Pacific. So they really are tested, they really are